All right, let's get right into it. If you're staring down the barrel of the notoriously tough OSCP exam, or maybe you're still stinging from a failed attempt, this is for you. We're going to break down how to turn that whole experience into a razor-sharp winning strategy, all by using over 50 free vulnerable machines as our personal training ground.
Oof, this one hits hard, doesn't it? It's a quote from the person who wrote the original article, and man, does it capture that sinking feeling. That feeling is just awful. Our entire goal here today is to make sure you never have to feel this by turning random practice into real focused preparation.
So, where does it all go wrong? Well, it usually starts with a big misunderstanding. So many of us fall into this trap of thinking that if we just root enough machines, we'll magically be ready for the exam. But that's a seriously flawed approach.
And here's the absolute truth of it. The OSCP couldn't care less about your hacking highlight reel. It is a performance. It's testing your ability to execute a structured methodology, recon, exploitation, privlesk, and documentation over and over again, all while that clock is ticking down. It's lack of a process, not a lack of rooted boxes, that causes people to fail.
This brings us to what is really the core idea of this entire strategy. It's all about a critical mindset shift. We have to completely ditch one style of practice and fully embrace another one. And this slide just lays it all out, right? On the left, you've got machine bingo. That's just randomly pwn in boxes, collecting them like trophies, but not really learning the why behind it. But on the right, you have the lab mindset. This is where every single machine is a targeted drill designed to build a very specific, repeatable skill. That right there is the difference between just being busy and actually making progress.
So let's be super clear about what this means. The lab mindset is when you stop asking, can I root this box? And you start asking, what specific skill is this machine designed to teach me? Is it a tricky manual SQL injection? Is it a clever Linux privilege escalation vector? Every machine has a purpose. Every machine gets a job.
Okay, theory is great, but how do we actually do this? How do we put this lab mindset into action? Well, this is our roadmap. We're going to take that chaotic pile of 50-plus free machines and organize it into something that actually looks and feels like a real curriculum.
So instead of a random, overwhelming list, think in clusters. You start with the classics, like the Kioptrix series, to really nail down the fundamentals. Then you move to all-in-one targets, like Metasploitable, to practice solid enumeration. After that, you layer on vulnerable web apps to get deep into those skills. Then modern machines for a dose of realism. And finally, you tackle Active Directory labs for network pivoting. All of a sudden, 50 machines isn't scary. It's a structured, totally manageable path.
Now, to run these clusters, you gotta have a home lab. This chart breaks down your options perfectly. VirtualBox, it's free and it's fast to set up. VMware is definitely more polished, but it's got a price tag. And Proxmox is a beast for big labs, but it takes more time to learn. You know what the best choice is here? The one that gets you practicing the fastest. Don't overthink it, just pick one and go.
And what about paid labs, like Proving Grounds? Here's the strategy. Think of the free machines as your foundation. Honestly, they can get you, say, 80% of the way there. A short, really focused burst on a paid platform can be a fantastic way to fill in some of the more modern gaps, especially with stuff like Active Directory. But it's not a must-have if you're disciplined with all the free stuff out there.
Okay, let's talk about this single most underrated tool in your entire arsenal, your notes. On exam day, your brain is going to be fried from the pressure. But your notes are your second brain. They are the personal playbook you've been building for weeks. Taking professional, structured notes is a massive, massive force multiplier. It's the only open book you're allowed to bring, and you get to write it yourself.
So if we pull it all together, here is your 4-stage journey to getting ready. First, you build your foundations on those classic machines. Then, you go deeper with web apps and scripting. From there, you move on to the more complex network and Active Directory stuff, and it all leads up to the final, and I mean critical stage, the full exam simulation.
This right here is where so many people fall short. They practice skills in these neat little 2-hour chunks. But the OSCP, oh no, it is a 24-hour marathon. It's a test of your mental stamina, your focus at 3 in the morning, and your ability to manage time just as much as it's a test of your technical skills.
So I'm going to ask you, point blank, have you actually sat down for 16 or 20 or a full 24 hours and simulated the entire experience, from that very first scan all the way to writing the final report? Because if you haven't, you have a major gap in your preparation.
Please use this as your final reality check before you click buy on that exam fee. This isn't about being perfect, it's about having evidence. Can you honestly look at this list and say yes to most of these points? This checklist helps you go from I feel ready to I have proven I'm ready. All right, let's bring this all home. Whether it's a failed mock exam or a failed real attempt, the goal shifts now. It's no longer about trying to avoid failure. That's impossible. The goal is to make every single failure productive. Squeeze every last drop of learning out of it.
So, here it is. This is the secret sauce, really. This sustainable, repeatable weekly schedule that led the original author to success. And notice the balance. Short, focused drills during the week to fix specific weaknesses, and then a longer 6 to 8 hour mini exam on the weekend to build up that stamina and practice chaining skills together under pressure. This is a plan you can actually stick with.
And if you do fail, here's your immediate action plan. 1. Brutal honesty. Do a ruthless postmortem and document exactly why you failed. 2. Connect your very next practice machines directly to those weaknesses you just identified. And 3. This one's so simple but so powerful. Schedule your next exam to start when your brain is naturally at its best. Don't fight your own body clock.
Look, at the end of the day, that first attempt, whether it was real or just practice, is just a data point. That's all it is. It does not define what you're capable of. The only thing that matters now is how you use that data. So the question I want to leave you with is this. What will you deliberately have your next 50 machines teach you?